I'm Jessica. My husband is Levi, and we've been coming to Forefront about 6 years now.
Everybody usually looks over there, but I'm going to look over here for a second. This is my friend Jessica, who you just met, and sometimes things can be a little bit awkward. And when you share a story behind the camera, many of you guys would be like, that's terrifying. And so she asked if she could read her story, but she didn't want it to not come across genuine because it genuinely is beautiful. And so she's going to read her story and you're going to get a chance to hear that, but it is so good what God is doing in their lives. So I'm going to let her share a little bit of that with you guys.
We moved to Virginia Beach about 15 years ago. Levi's in the Navy, and Levi and I are both from small town Iowa. We grew up in church, and then somewhere in our teens, we completely pulled away from faith and ended up with lives that were fueled by mostly alcohol, an endless series of reckless decisions. We had our daughter Genevieve about 9 years ago, and that was when we really started to notice or feel that absence of like a solid relationship with God. So Levi and I always talked about having kids, and we knew that we wanted them to grow up with a church family. So this is when we started looking for a church with people that felt like home. Every single time we drove away from a church, we were convinced that we were literally the only sinners that were in that building that day. Sunday started to become painful, and then it became a chore, and it wasn't exciting anymore. It was something we really started to dread. It was always this constant reminder like of how far we had fallen, and so every Sunday kind of felt like a slap in the face. Like, look at all these people who have it figured out. The message was always hurtful and not in a way that left us feeling like we wanted to like do better and and so we just decided that maybe we didn't necessarily need a building with people to hang out with on Sundays, that we would just stick to reading our Bibles as a family and just praying together and just loving people. And so Levi's deployed, and I'm home with our small child. The closest relative is 1,200 miles away, and it's right at this time that Genevieve starts to develop some pretty serious chronic health issues. The car breaks down, I experience a health crisis of my own, and then to round it off, the water heater rusts out, causing a good amount of damage to the house. So, laying in bed, and Genevieve is sleeping, and something or some things start scratching above my head in the attic. That is the moment that took me over the edge. I Google to find somebody to handle this. So the guy comes, and he's so kind, and just instantly I was at peace. Rodents out of your attic is not just like a one and done thing. It's like a process. So you like mildly build a relationship of some sort with a person who's coming into your home several times a week. And so conversation, and that's when he had told me about the church. He had said, I believe at one point, why don't you just come give it a try? I was so against a contemporary church. The idea of people wearing jeans to church. So I'd thought about it, and I felt really pulled. Like I needed to just give it a try, and I needed to just like put it down for it. Stop with this. This is what it needs to be. So Genevieve and I, we go on a Sunday, and I have never felt like I belonged more anywhere in my entire life than I did on that Sunday. And it was just the people. I never felt the way that I felt the day that I showed up at Forefront. These people didn't know me, they didn't know my story, but the kindness that was shown to me was one of the coolest things I have ever been a part of. And so it's not this building, it's not even the style of the church, it is the people in this place. Incredible relationships since we have been coming here that are the most important relationships we have in our life right now. Yeah, this is Forefront, man. Super grateful.